am so excited to be here.
We're thrilled to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
What an incredibly novel idea you had back in 2023.
Yes.
To interview guests in sort of a makeshift castle.
100%.
And how did it first occur to you that this would be a good thing to do?
Have you ever been to medieval times?
So I'm glad you asked, because I know you have, and I have not. So keep going.
Oh, Seth.
I
We
know.
should go day drinking at medieval times.
I mean, I would imagine. I imagine the mead flows pretty, yeah.
When I'm around, the meat's flowing.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, was it born of your love of medieval times?
It was.
Okay.
I really admire, this kind of innovation of what Hot Ones is.
Yes.
Like, yeah, make them suffer and they'll be honest. That's genius.
Yes.
Mix that with, I love Game of Thrones. I love medieval times. This kind of like, and thank you.
Yeah.
I love this kind of whimsical, life is too short. So this idea of everything being extravagant and beautiful and ridiculous, like let's combine those two worlds. And it was almost like the more ridiculous the setting is, the more they'll lean in. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a homage.
It's very funny to watch Matt Damon wearing chainmail,
It is.
giving a genuinely honest answer about
Yes.
like a father's, instinct to go to
Yeah,
a crying
parental
baby.
instinct, absolutely.
Also, not a well-fitting chainmail on his head. You know what I mean? Like literally,
all.
no one has ever let him be in a thing that covers that much of his face.
No, yeah. You usually see more Damon than that.
Yeah.
We've kinda
Every
honed in.
director before you was like, no, we got to see the whole moneymaker. And
Yeah.
you're like, nope, chainmail's the important thing.
100%. More of Anne, less of Matt.
You're like, this is historically accurate. When was the last time you went to medieval times?
Monday.
Okay.
Not a joke.
No. Is this from Monday?
That's from Monday. Yep.
Yeah, because when you said I'm gonna send a picture of the last time you were here, I did think it would be maybe you as a child.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, no, that's high res.
Yeah.
That camera's high res.
Haven't washed my hair since that photo, so yeah.
How would you, for people who haven't been,
Uh-huh.
is there a tip you would give them on their first trip to medieval times?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking.
And now
the
you
thing.
do have to say if you're paid. Are you paid by medieval times?
Oh, God, no. Of
Okay,
course
great.
not. So that's how you know I mean it.
Yeah.
The knights at medieval times, okay, they live for the cheers. And here's the thing. My dad took me when I was young for the first time, and I was like, oh, what is this? I watched a monster come out of my father cheering for the Blue Knight.
Really?
And I mean, like, banging the cup on the table, pick it up! Like, and it's this kind of fervor that I feel like only a middle-aged white dad can achieve.
Yeah.
So we took that. I was like, oh, that's how you're supposed to enjoy this. Now I've, of course, carried it on through my legacy. And my tip is, when the knights are in your section, flirt with them.
Oh, okay.
Give a little,
Great.
and they give you your favor, or their favor, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't work there, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
nobody expects you to know who gets the favor.
No, but there is an exchange.
Did the first time your dad, when he brought you, do you think he was bringing you because he thought you'd love it, or he was hoping he'd love it? Like, what was the...
It was probably a bit self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Totally. But it was ultimately a family bonding exercise.
I mean, obviously, it seems like a jackpot.
Yeah, and it was.
What age kid do you think is the right age for their first trip to medieval times?
A great question. 11.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to be old enough to know, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not young enough to be like, I want to go home. The
Yeah.
horses stink.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate it.
You traveled around a lot as a kid.
I did.
Do you feel like somebody who's constantly going into a new school needs to develop a young sense of humor?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Gotcha. And did you notice early on? Did your parents notice early on that this was a skill you had?
Yeah, they knew I had the, like, Jim Carrey bug.
Yeah.
It was like, how do I make this situation about me? Like, at any time.
Gotcha.
As a child,
Gotcha.
it was... Yeah.
Were they a
very-
fan of that? Did they?
Yes.
They were fans of you, right?
Yeah, they kind of, played into it in an almost mean way. It was like, you gotta do a dance, And I was like, a dance. So,
That's nice to have parents who scream, "Do a dance."
yeah, do something for us. And I was like, I've got 3 numbers prepared. What do you need? So they really, to this day, my parents are like my #1 supporter.
So exciting.
It's very sweet.
I know early on, Now, early episodes of your show, you were, interviewing friends, and now obviously A-list stars.
We're doing Matt Damon now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you also moved from, I guess originally it was in your bedroom, yes? Before you moved into a proper studio.
Yes, it was in my spare bedroom. We shot the first episode of Royal Court.
That's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
There must have been challenges involved in shooting Royal Court in a bedroom.
Yeah, what they don't tell you is you got to shut the AC off.
Right.
And, I'm the type of white where I turn red when I'm sweating.
Dude.
So.
I mean, during the COVID, when I was doing the shows, and
In your attic.
that was, for real though, the AC thing was a killer.
Yes.
Because when it was hot up there, it was really hot up there.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do your kids understand what you do?
A little, yeah, they're getting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
They're almost at the age where they understand medieval times, so I think they clock.
Okay.
I had them as guests here, and I think that helped.
Okay, copy
Yeah,
that.
when they were like in front of an audience, they were like,
Pretty
oh.
immersive.
And they were like, oh, I see why Daddy likes being here.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, right, people pay attention to you. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Not that you only have the one show, you also have the Broski Report. Different look. But let me just compliment how great it is that you have a completely different look for your companion show.
And thank you. And you chose my Russian headpiece here
Yes.
that I.
Well, I love
Don't
it. I
know
love
why.
international news. So.
And that is what we cover. This is kind of the inspo for this was if Walter Cronkite was living as a gay man.
Yeah.
What would those design choices have been?
Gotcha.
So that's kind of what this is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you find, do you enjoy both shows equally?
Yeah, I do. They're both my children.
Yeah.
Royal Court is my baby, and it finally is like taking off in a way that is very exciting. At this intersection of pop culture on the internet and traditional Hollywood kind of meeting in the middle. And Broski Report is the ravings of a lunatic.
Yeah.
Alone in a room. I am the only one in that room. There's no producer. I'm hitting mic check, 1, 2.
Yeah.
It's me.
Nobody saw this and thought there was another person there.
Not once.
I'm gonna say this, I've met them over the years, I've done SNL with both of them, right? So a couple weeks ago, Matt Damon was here, Anne Hathaway was here, and I'm friendly with them. I still get a little nervous talking to people whose work I respect that much.
That makes me feel better, by the way.
Well, I was gonna ask, you seem so comfortable with the time you have with these people. Do you feel like putting on all the actually framing yourself as royalty?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that helps you get over what anxiety might be there in interviewing people?
I've never thought about it that way, but yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of.
That's why I watch it. I'm like, God, this is so smart. It's the same thing with
you.
Sean and Hot Ones. It's like, oh, he has all this status because he's torturing us.
Exactly. He is the perpetrator.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a sense of accountability of I'm in charge of the vibe. I'm the
Yeah.
vibe coordinator.
Yeah.
So I can't be like, Matt Damon, are you? I don't know.
Right.
And then I my pants. I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't do that.
You wouldn't watch Game of Thrones if a queen acted that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you bring a lot of authenticity to your royalty.
you.
It's a really wonderful show to watch, and congratulations on everything. I'm so happy you made time to come visit us. This is Brittany Broski, everybody. Last time you were here, you brought this same bag and you had some barbecue from Kansas City.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you bring me more barbecue?
No. You were just in Kansas City
I did a show. It was lovely.
doing a show, and the hotel staff called me and said you left a bunch of stuff in your room. Rude. And so they asked if I would return it. So I brought some of your.
This is stuff I left in my
These
hotel
are
room.
your personal effects from your hotel room that have been sent with me. So yeah, this is kind of okay, you're like a grown man, but yeah, so your teddy bear they wanted you to get back.
Okay, well, I'm happy to have it.
They asked me, was there a 15 or 17-year-old girl staying in the room because they found a birthday cake vape?
Okay,
I don't know.
yeah.
Kind of completely humiliating, but that's yours. I
Yes,
guess.
okay, well,
And this one, I'm kind of scared to do this one in front of everybody, but the maids found this taped to your bathroom mirror and asked if you need it. It says, you are funny and people like you.
okay.
So, yeah, you'll just...
It's very helpful to have that before you go on stage.
Yeah, some people need it. Some people need it.
Camille, we were just talking. He's been on your podcast. Did you see him backstage?
I did, yeah. People broke us up. We had an argument back there.
Okay, gotcha.
He's very charming out here. You started out calling him handsome. I got no such treatment. But he's... he's
I do appreciate how little you're talking about your outfit.
By the way, it must be so funny for people to see me in real life, because when there's a stylist involved, I dress like this, and then I'm in Brooklyn looking like complete But yeah, it was good to see Kumail. I love that guy.
You split time between Kansas City and New York, and Kansas City, obviously, you're a big Chiefs fan. Kansas City does not have a basketball team. Safe to say you have Knicks fever?
I have Knicks fever!
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh my God. It's been completely electric. I'm completely loving it. I'm like, I've been a Knicks fan for like, God, 72 hours, and I just love it. I love it.
It's working on you. It's fitting.
Oh my gosh, I know, it really works for me. It's funny because my whole life I was a Kansas City Chiefs fan. And if you guys don't know, we were the most cursed team in the league for a long time. And then we got good, and all the men in my life were really mad about bandwagon fans, which is such a funny perspective because basically the sentiment of that is like, don't try to connect with me. You know what I mean? And now I'm a bandwagon Knicks fan, and it's so beautiful.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. I love it. I'm riding a city bike around. I'm yelling out to people, Knicks in 5. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm a gay guy, so I bring my own special flair to the whole thing. And
I think people like it. I think they like a diversity of pro-Knick fans.
yeah, I'm having a blast with it.
Parade? Did you have any interest in the parade?
Well, there's a limit.
Yeah.
No. No, I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that. In fact, it looks like a nightmare. I can't be involved.
Great. Well, I mean, I like a man with boundaries, you know?
And I have them. I'm not going, any space that I can't cut the line, I can't really be involved in.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a very exciting year with Devil Wears Prada 2, and we talked about... Last time you were here, it was before the movie came out, and you were talking about how you were trying very hard over the course of your press tour to make it clear to everyone that Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep were bad people.
Bad people, yes. Yeah. Bad people, evil, malevolent, untalented.
Yeah.
Really mean-spirited, nasty, nasty people. Everyone on the movie, including the crew.
Yeah. You did get asked that question a lot, right? About what they were like in real life.
Yeah, it's so funny. Press tours are like, obviously I'm kidding. Press tours are like the same question over and over again. Every question is like, what was it like to work with Meryl Streep? And it's like, imagine if I said anything other than amazing. I mean, could you believe? She's like the most legendary actress alive, and then it's just me. I like feel bad for her. She had to do the press tour with me. I'm like, she shouldn't have to be in here. You know what I mean? But it was a lot of fun. I had a blast.
That's fantastic. And the new film is with John Cena, as we saw in the clip. And you were a John Cena fan.
I was a big John Cena fan growing up. Was anyone WWE fans growing up? Yeah. I loved it. I literally, and I had this vivid memory. I told John this on set one night. We filmed a lot of overnights, me, him, and Eric, and Edgar Woden, Sherry Cola, Ben Allers, like really fun cast. And one night at like 4 a.m, I worked up the courage to tell John my story about him, which is that one day my friends and I would play WWE on the trampoline, you know, and like throw each other around, and I was way bigger than everybody, so I rocked. And one day I was like, guys, I want to be John Cena today. Like, that's the character I want to play. And everyone like huddled up and conferenced about it, which you don't ever love to see when you pitch an idea. All your friends being like, give us a moment. But they like huddled up and conferenced about it, and then they came back and they were like, we're thinking Rikishi. And if some of you know who Rikishi is, Rikishi was the biggest, fattest guy alive, and his signature move is that he wore like underwear. I don't know the technical term for it, but he would rub his butt in people's faces. Yeah. And he's big and fat, so that's disgusting. And that they made me be Rikishi instead of John Cena.
That's very unfair.
And I told John that, and he was like, "All right." No, I'm kidding. He was totally lovely about it. It was fun. But yeah, it was cool to work with him.
Eric Andre, super funny dude.
Yeah, I would just like to say that Eric is so talented and grounded and lovely. Unfortunately, I can't. He is, he's a nightmare. No, he's lovely. Eric is so fun and high energy. And I asked him once like how he keeps the energy up all the time, because it's constant. It's not just when the camera's rolling. And he told me he meditates.
Oh, interesting.
That's his big secret.
And was that something that then appealed to you as an outlet for yourself?
No, I'm normal. So I don't get into... I don't get into that kind of stuff. I'll have a Coca-Cola or coffee or something.
Right. You don't feel like this idea of like actually having to like close your eyes for 20 minutes and like look inward is not for you.
I'm not buying it. Like, I don't... people who say stuff like that, like with like crystals and meditation, or when people are like, exercise gives you energy, I'm like, you have to tell the truth. Come on, it doesn't. It does not.
Well, thank you for being honest with us, because I feel like not enough people are. It is so lovely to see you again. You got to keep coming back. It's so fun to talk to you.
Seth, I would come here anytime. I absolutely love you.
All right, fantastic. You guys, that's Caleb. Karen, everybody.